guys, today we don't do our rebuild. As I said in the previous video, we will do today HPN parts for the HP2. Most of you or some of you have seen on the HPN page that is quite old as the guys at HPN that HPN has done some performance parts for the HP2. The HP2 had their HPN tank that I will not show you today because I never bought one. I had like 4 to come by, or I have sold also one because it's, for me, there's no option I would put a HPN tank on a HP2 because I want to keep this tight clean of originally. I would put on maybe a Marcus tank on my rebuild bike, but this is a different story. Then they make a frame reinforcement, then some stronger shaft, some gear ratio on the final drive, and some electrical parts. From these all parts that I have said to you, I have also a HPN full titanium exhaust. From these all parts that I will show you, or that I have said to you now, I have all beside the tank and the reinforced frame. The reinforced frame I was trying to get done in 2018, but they were not really willing to do that, so I passed on that. And then after I found someone that could do or talk with them, they said, yeah, give me the frame and then let's wait 2 years. But I cannot wait without a bike for 2 years, so this was never an option for me, and this is why I never got a HPN reinforcement on my frames. But I have all other parts that are quite unique. My enduro bike has all parts that I show you now fitted. Beside the titanium exhaust, I have sold it and I'm running stock one, but I have one left in my garage that I bought recently from South Africa. So let's start with the shaft. This is the stock shaft from the HP2. Nothing special, and you think, why should I buy an extra stronger shaft? But what is stronger on this shaft? It's not the U-joints, they are the same. It's also not the steel, it's also the same. The only difference is here this damping on these shafts. This is this original one, and this is the HPN shaft. You see the damping, the damper is a little bit longer than the stock one, and with this shaft you can run in high temperature areas in really hard conditions where the wheel has wheel spin and traction, wheel spin and traction. This is a really hard momentum on the damping here, so it gets here hot, and then also the rubber, because it's a stock rubber here inside, it gets hot, and then when the rubber gets hot it will eventually burn or it gets softer, and when it gets softer it cannot hold this momentum, and then it snap, but it not snap just the metal, it snap only the rubber, and if it start to slip, it's game over. You will maybe be able to run in low RPMs just to get into the to the road or the next road, but no big momentum can be applied. So yeah, this is the HPN shaft. This one is a spare one that I have. It's new, so it was never really mounted. It was mounted, but it was never used in real, so it's something unique to come by. This one I will not install into this one because it will be a little bit too much, I will, as I said in one video, I will exchange the U-joints on this one to greaseable ones. This is the only thing I will do, and the rubber should hold, and if not, I have 2 or 3 other shafts, original shafts for spares, or nothing to worry about. Next thing is that most people are looking for and trying to do is the final drive. The final drive is this nice unit. What is special on the HPN final drive? The HPN final drive has a ratio of 3.0. The original final drive on the HP2 has a ratio of 2.82 ratio. So you have a difference of 0.18. You think this is nothing, but it makes a big difference because the bike is quite fast on the first gear if you drive off-road. And if you want to see how you can see what ratio it has, you see it on the final drives with this stamp on. It says the ratio, so if you divide it, you will get 3. But then if you want to be sure, because some people have a different casing but the ratio is different, you have it also here on the inline of the shaft, stamp it on. You see 3.00. You think now, and if you have a final drive from HPN, then you have also here stamped on the HPN and the part number. So this is the 24 number of what they built. So I have 24, and on my other bike I have the number 7. So why people should do that, or why people want to do that, is because the bike is quite fast on the first gear, as I said. To come by with a 3.0 ratio is quite unique. Let's say so. It's really hard to get one. It's a unicorn. A HP2 is a unicorn, but this is a really unicorn. Not many well built, not many were sold. And Max BMW in USA have sold only the gearings, so you could do the changing by yourself. So there are some people that run it on GSs also. From where they had this 3.0 ratio, it was so that BMW at the time had a R900 RT. The R900 RT was a police and ambulance bike, and it has really 900 cubic inches. So it was the same engine as on this one, but has 900. It was a little bit different on the pistons, but everything else was the same. But because it has lower torque and lower power, they needed a different ratio. And also because, for example, they run also slower on the first gear when they have petrol or someone dies or what else. They need to run and they don't need to pull all the time the clutch. They had this low ratio. So you can look for R900 RT drives, but they are really, really hard to get. I have never seen one for sale. If I would have, I would bought it. So most people, what they do is they buy and get a 2.91 ratio final drive from a GS that was built up from 2010. Because they changed it at that time, the ratio of the bikes, and then you think, yeah, it's plug and play, but no, it's not that easy, because on the final drives I I wanted to show you, but I cannot find the gearing, but I will do here on this one. I will mount a 2.91 gearing, because this one, this final drive is a new final drive. It was used a little bit, but it was not really abused, or it was abused a little bit here on the back, but this is more storage mark than a usage mark. So yeah, this is new and I want to keep it new. If my 3.0 on another bike failures, but if it failures, I change the gear, the bearings, and all is good. So come back. The GS has here a different speed sensor. Only the HP2 series and the R1200S has this specific speed sensor. All other bikes have different ones. They share between them the same one, but to the HP2 they have a different one. So you think, okay, then we get the speed sensor from another bike. It's not that easy. It will not work with the combos of this bike. So what you can do is you buy a final drive from GS with 2.91 ratio. Then you can take your HP2 casing, or just only here this cover, put it on the other one, but I would suggest to you exchange the the bearings inside too, so you have a fresh rebuilded final drive. This is the best option you can go, but the bearings for this whole stuff is quite expensive, so please keep it in mind. It's a little bit expensive. You need a little bit here, a special tool, and yeah. And then it's also really important what type of final drive you will use, because if it has 2.91 ratio, it don't mean it will work on your HP2, because there were two different markings inside. Markings are inside the indication of 1010, and there are some with a smaller distance from 1 to 1 and with a bigger one, and the HP2 has the larger ones. So this is something you need to know and you need to think about, because otherwise you will put in the final drive with the right casing and put on the new sensor, and you will think, why I don't see the real or the right speeds, because yeah, it will not, or it will show the speed but it will not calculate kilometers. This is something that could happen also, but yeah, this is something you need to have in mind. So you can use 2.91. Also you need to know without the breather, because otherwise you cannot use this top mounting, or you buy because later they were with breather, but in real no breather. So this, because there is a difference inside of the casing and everything, and bearings and blah blah blah, they changed a lot. At this time it was a little bit a mess to get around why they didn't do one for all. They just, yeah. But this is something, if you want to do something, you can text on the video. I can help you with a comment or anything. It's not easy. You need to have time to understand it and to choose the right one. And even I hope I have the right one. I'm pretty sure I have the right board already, but I need to rebuild it and put it together, and then I will use it on this one, the 2.91 ratio. So the next stuff that was sold from HPN are these little things. These little things are performance parts. You will think, why is this a performance part? Because this one will be mounted on the throttle body. Maybe you will know now where this goes, and it has made normally the connector here on the top, but if you ride, you hit with the leg all the time on it, and then the connector cracks. So HPN came to the idea, why don't make here a cable, close it here, make a cable and the connector somewhere else, and then you can run however you want and hit it here. It's full plastic, so it's a little bit stronger then. So this is a quite nice yeah, part. Also, I have never seen one for sale, really. This one that I have in my hands are the only ones I have seen in my life. So this is the fuel injector. The fuel injector has also here normally the connector, but they make here a cable and the connector is somewhere else, so you cannot crack here the connector, because these three things have something special in the racing history of BMW, as BMW was in a race and the pilot Simo Crisi was racing the bike on the racetrack, and he didn't finish the race because he hit with the boot one of this connector, and then he couldn't drive anymore. So yeah, these are really nice parts. I wanted to install it on my race bike, but I haven't until now, and maybe I will do it soon. We will see. But yeah, this is something I wanted to show you. Also, you have throttle body guards from HPN that were sold. They are also quite unique, but really nothing special. They are not compatible with some other guards that are for the cylinder head, so they are, yeah, quite special. I couldn't find them today. I have no idea where I put them, really, because I put them with the new guards for this one because they are a copy of the HPN guards, and I really like them. If you want to have good guards, go to Holland.pl. I don't have any friends or association with this company, but I bought from them. They don't fit pretty well, you need to adjust them, but if you make the adjustment that they fit, then they are a great option to other stuff, because that from Touratech I had them, I sold them because they are not protection, that it's just Touratech's shit. So yeah, I hope you liked this video, I hope you subscribed, and you let me know what you want to know. Or before I forgot something to show you the HPN exhaust. Yes, this beauty everyone is looking for. It's a titanium full exhaust, and about this exhaust I will do also a video only about the exhaust. You will think, yes, only about the exhaust, because this one is after an accident, and this side of the exhaust is a little bit damaged, so everything what is here is damaged, and I want to make it work again. You see it also here, it has a mark of something hitting into, but I wanted to do something with an exhaust, to learn something about titanium, what you can do, what you cannot do. So yeah, I'm curious how this will work, because I have a muffler that could fit here. The muffler that was on this one is also with it, but it's scratched, but no matter. Maybe this exhaust, when I do the rebuild, it will be on my race bike for race purpose only, because yeah, it's really nice looking piece, and the sound of the bike from this exhaust is unique. I had it on my Mega Moto, I had it on my Enduro. It's crazy. So I know why people want this, and it's quite light because it's titanium. So also quite hard to find one nowadays, really expensive. It sales now at the moment for a price of a new one, so it sales at the same price as a new one. So I hope you enjoy it, I hope you like it, and I hope you have subscribed my channel, and we will see you next time. So goodbye and have a nice ride.